going on, everybody? So I have been using this chair every day for about 3 weeks now, and I figured I would do an update video on it, my thoughts on this thing, and all the features that it has and everything that it's done for me. Let me start out this video by saying that no, it is not necessary at all for me to have this chair. I have the fortunate opportunity to recover, and a lot of people who use these things don't. This was just something that I found and wanted to buy it with the intentions of giving it away. So now that that's out of the way, let me just tell you how much this thing has improved my quality of life throughout this process. It is fall, so the leaves are kind of noisy. I'll stop here for a bit. If you didn't know, I suffered a pretty bad break to my tibial plateau, and I did have to get surgery for it, so that left me unable to bear weight for about 3 months. That being said, if you've ever spent any period of time on crutches, then you know how much of a pain in the ass it can be to do regular day-to-day activities. Things like making food, changing clothes, getting a drink of water, anything liquid for that matter, or anything that you have to carry is almost impossible on crutches. There's ways around it, of course. You can wear a backpack, which a lot of people do. I've done that in several different occasions, but as far as carrying liquids, food, etc., it's just not possible on crutches. That being said, there are other cheaper alternative methods rather than the power chair, such as the walker. There's different attachments that you can get for walkers that have trays on them so you can put food and liquids and things like that. But even that can still be a pain, and you still have to hop around, and that can shake things loose off the plate. And that brings me to my next mode of handicap transportation, and that is the regular wheelchair. And that also limits you from doing a few things. In order to use a standard wheelchair, you need to use both of your hands and simultaneously turn the wheels to go forward. And that prevents you from carrying things. Yes, you can put things on your lap, hold things between your legs. There's ways around all of these problems, but that doesn't make it easy. Let me get up really quick. So for me, this power chair has been an absolute joy to use, and it's allowed me to comfortably do a lot of things that I would normally struggle with. Now this is an all-terrain model. It uses the mid-drive system, and it has stabilizing wheels in the front and rear. This obviously has the benefit of going to a lot of places that you can't normally get being handicapped. But you do sacrifice a few things. This is a very large unit. Thankfully where I live, I'm still able to squeeze it through most of the doors. But the biggest thing that the power chair allows you to do versus all those other options is to keep a hand free. Right now, for example, I'm holding this large camera, but I'm still able to move around to get from point A to point B. And this right here has allowed me to do so many different things easily. And thankfully, in my case, I'm still able to use my one leg so I can hop up out of the chair, hop around if need be, and then hop my way back to the chair. Sit up straight. Starting to slouch. But it's really allowed me to live my day-to-day life pretty normally. And there's really not much that I can't do. On top of all that, this thing is just a blast to play around on, get outdoors. And that's the thing that I've missed the most throughout this whole experience, is not being able to take the long hikes and walks with my dog. And that is something that this chair enabled me to do. All that being said, that just excites me even more to give this thing away to somebody who really needs it. And experiences like this just give you a crazy amount of perspective for what life is like for many people out there. I've always tried to appreciate and respect the little things. And I do think that experiences like this are beneficial to keep you grounded and to make you appreciate and realize the things that really matter, such as health, happiness, helping others. That's really all that matters in life. Isn't that right, buddy? What are you doing? Got your stick? So let's look through some of the features that this machine has. I am in the medium power mode. There's 5 different modes total. all the way up to V6 AT fast. You can reach about 6.5 miles an hour at this speed. Plenty fast enough, especially off-road, believe me. I do use medium the most. It's kind of the healthy middle. Does have the horn. This unit also comes with optional lights, which I do not have, but you have a headlight, hazards, and turn signals. I also forgot to mention that you can actually adjust the profiles themselves. So I'm in medium mode. I can bump it down to slow medium. So you have a lot of different settings. I mean, that's essentially 25 different speed settings that you can customize. And obviously the way you control the movement is just by this joystick right here. Back to go back, front to go to the front, right to go right, left to go left. And once you get the hang of it, you can move this thing around buttery smooth. And on top of that, this machine has a few special features that can really help in some situations. Pressing the mode button, we have the tilt option. We can lift this thing up and recline it back. I'll go ahead and demonstrate those right now. As you can see, this thing lifts up pretty high, and that can get you into those hard to reach cupboards and shelves, anything that you need a little bit more height to get to. I don't use that personally because I can get out of the chair, but that's a super nice feature to have. Of course, you saw the tilting action. You can tilt it all the way back, as well as just recline the backrest itself. And I know a lot of you are probably asking, where do your legs go? So the person who actually used this chair before me was a double amputee, but I was able to reach out to the manufacturer and they kindly set out a set of leg supports, so we'll be installing that in today's video. All right, first off, I have to give a huge shout out to Innovation in Motion for sending this out. I told them a little bit about my plans with the chair and they kindly sent this out free of charge. So huge shout out to them. And if you know of anybody that needs one of these chairs, they have a lot of different models and different options. Let's open it up and see what we got. Awesome. A lot of stuff going on here. I hope we can figure this out. We got hardware, different brackets. All right, so we're gonna set this thing up and figure it out. Now I don't really have any instructions to go off of, so we're kind of just gonna be winging this, but I think I've got a decent idea on how this works. I'm assuming this goes here. We will figure it out. Snug that up. Boom. We got something going on here. Not sure if it's right, but we got something. Actually, now that I look at that, maybe it is the other one that goes there. And you'd think you would want this on the outside, like so. Let's see if we have anything that'll work. Come here. You all right? What'd you step on, buddy? You fucking bastard. Diesel just stepped on a wasp, so we'll see how that ends up. Let's put this seat back and make sure this works. I actually didn't need to remove the seat, so that's good to know. Oh yeah. Heck yeah. Now obviously this is just meant to support your feet and keep them from dangling, so not everybody has a 36-inch inseam, so they wouldn't have to worry about that. That is awesome. Now that I think about it, I'm not too sure because this is gonna hinder us from getting into some doors, it looks like, 'cause that sticks out a good 3 inches if I'm not lying to myself. So yeah, there's no way that that's the way that it goes, so I'm not quite sure now. I second guess myself. So it looks like I was right. This may be more comfortable, but it just sticks out way too far. So let's put this back on and see what that does for us. All right, that is more like it. Okay, let's repeat the same thing on the other side. All right, pretty straightforward. Now we are gonna have to figure out the calf rest for this side. My apologies, it's pretty hard to film. Ooh! But we're making progress. All right, that should be it. Definitely think this needs to be slid up a little bit more. Throw this footrest on here. All right, let's give her a test run. Problem is, this is definitely not long enough for my current situation, but that's okay. It's not the point. It's hard to get into now. All right. We got one. All right, so this side is done. There's far more adjustability. I'm actually not going to use these. I'm gonna go ahead and take them off. It's really easy to do so. All you have to do is unscrew the 2 side bolts there. Reason being is right now I don't want my legs supported. I want as much strain essentially to be put on it so it's constantly getting stretched and worked, and I'm constantly using my muscles, so I'm actually not gonna use these. Even for this side, I like to hop up out of this thing really fast, so it'll just get into my way, but I wanted to be sure to have these for when we give it away. Most likely the person that we give this to is not gonna have full use of their legs, so this is a must. I am gonna go ahead and install this other calf pad really quick and just store these in the shop for now. And check this out, they swing right out of the way. I'm actually gonna flip this calf pad, it was upside down. Easy as that. Throw this foot plate back on. And boom. That's what I'm talking about. Check it out. Actually looks like a wheelchair now. That is what I'm talking about. Everything turned out perfectly with the install. All you have to do is loosen this bolt right here and you can pull these legs off really easily. A lot of adjustments here, so whoever ends up with this, I'll make sure they're set up right. But I'm happy to say that we finally have a fully functioning power chair ready to go to its forever home. That being said, I'm gonna go pull these legs off and go have some more fun.